positive, negative, fearful, secure, and more. Much time and research has been spent on exploring the attachment between a parent and an infant. Psychologists such as Bowlby and Ainsworth spent their careers researching attachment and the influencers of infant attachment. One of the most famous attachment experiments, the strange situation, led to the discovery of 4 styles of parent-infant attachment: secure, resistant, avoidant, and disorganized. Research on adult attachment has been guided by the research on infant-parent attachment. This lesson will highlight the similarities between infant-parent attachments and detail the 4 types of adult attachment styles. In this lesson, adult attachment refers to types of romantic relationships held between adults. Interestingly enough, the parallels between adult attachment and infant-parent attachment are numerous. However, relationships and attachment take on different qualities as one progresses through adulthood. Adults and infant-parent attachment share the following features. Both feel safe when the other is physically nearby and seek to engage in close bodily contact. Both feel insecure when the other is unavailable or not nearby. Both share new events and discoveries with each other. Given the similarities, researchers offered the following assumptions regarding attachment that apply to adult attachment or infant-parent attachment. First, humans are biologically driven to form attachments with others, and these attachments are formed through learning experiences. Second, there are different attachment styles depending on the beliefs and expectations people have about their relationships. And third, differences in attachment styles can influence one's mental health and quality of relationships with others. Researchers identified 4 types of attachment styles among adults: secure, anxious preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant. These styles parallel infant attachment styles covered in depth in a previous lesson. The first style of adult attachment is secure attachment. Adults categorized as having secure attachment feel good about themselves and others. They are not afraid of entering relationships or being abandoned if they do enter these types of relationships. This style of attachment typically occurs if the adult has had a history of positive interactions and relationships with partners. Securely attached adults often report greater satisfaction in their relationships with flexibility and mutual understanding between the 2 partners. This style of adult attachment corresponds to the secure infant-parent attachment style, in which the child feels free to explore surroundings when the parent is in the room. The child may become upset if the parent leaves, but is easily comforted by the parent upon her return. These children are also friendly and outgoing with strangers in the presence of their parent. The second style of adult attachment is anxious preoccupied attachment. Adults with this style of attachment may have a positive view of others, but feel like they can't be loved themselves. Adults with this style seek high levels of closeness and intimacy and become overly dependent on their partners. They may become clingy and are fearful and anxious about their partner. They have anxiety that their partner has a less positive view about them, and also blame themselves when things go wrong in the relationship. The anxious preoccupied adult attachment style corresponds to the resistant or anxious ambivalent attachment among infants. The child that is characterized with this type of attachment does not explore and play, even when his parent is in the room. The child becomes upset when the parent leaves, sometimes showing higher levels of separation anxiety than a securely attached child. The child may resist attempts by the parent to comfort and soothe, and is also wary of strangers, even in the presence of the parent. The third style of adult attachment is dismissive avoidant attachment. Adults with a dismissing style of attachment possess a positive view of themselves, but a negative view of others and of close relationships. Adults in this style of attachment often feel they do not need relationships, self-guarding themselves from pain or abandonment that may occur should the relationship end. They find it hard to trust others and often keep people at a distance. The dismissive avoidant attachment style corresponds to the avoidant attachment style in infants. These children seem uninterested in exploring, show little distress when separated from their mothers, and avoid contact when their parent returns. The avoidant attached child is not very wary of strangers, but may avoid or ignore them, similar to how they avoid or ignore their parents. Avoidant children seem to have distanced themselves from their parents, almost as if saying, "I don't need your affection." The fourth style of adult attachment is fearful avoidant attachment. Adults characterized in this attachment style have a negative view of both themselves and others. They display a confusing mix of neediness and fear of being close to others. They commonly do not trust the intentions of their partners or others and often suppress their own feelings. This style parallels the disorganized, disoriented style among infants. These children seem to be confused in their attempts to get close to the parent. They may approach them, then back away quickly. They seem to seek attention and comfort, but are weary of the parent being able to provide this. While attachment changes from infancy to adulthood, researchers have found that most people, between 70 to 80%, do not experience significant changes in attachment styles over time. The people who do experience a change in attachment styles may have the following: serious life events or circumstances, such as finding out one has a terminal condition; a change in view on relationships, such as experiencing an abrupt end to a long-term relationship; personality variables, such as a change to one's values and beliefs; or a combination of all of the above. In summary, adult attachment research is based off the extensive research conducted on attachment between infants and parents. Many similarities exist between the two types of attachment styles, including that adults and infants feel safe and seek to be physically close to one another, both feel insecure when the other is not nearby, and both share new events and explore with each other. Adult attachment styles are characterized in 4 ways: secure, anxious preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant. The secure attached adults hold a positive view of themselves and others, and are unafraid to enter relationships and feel free to explore independently. This type of adult attachment is similar to the secure attachment style among infants. The anxious preoccupied adults hold a negative view of themselves, but a positive view of others. They seek high levels of closeness, but worry about abandonment and are anxious that they cause the problems in the relationship. This type of adult attachment is similar to the resistant or anxious ambivalent attachment style among infants. The dismissive avoidant adult holds a positive self-view, but a negative view of others. Adults here often shut out emotions and dismiss the importance of relationships. This type of adult attachment is similar to the avoidant attachment style among infants. And finally, the fearful avoidant adult holds a negative view of both self and others. They need relationships, but exhibit confusing signals and fear being close to others. This type of adult attachment is similar to the disorganized, disoriented attachment style among infants.